Welcome to Toros Talk. My name is Alyssa G, and I will be your host today. First, let's start with some news from the past week. Congratulations to Ms. Godinez on being awarded IDEA Toros Teacher of the Year. Her enthusiasm and commitment is well known to our students and staff, as well as the academic success her classes enjoy. Congratulations, Ms. Godinez, and thank you for all you do. IDEA Toros just completed the lottery for next year, and we have already begun accepting new students to the IDEA Toros 2021 through 2022 team and family. But it's not too late to join. If you are interested in applying for IDEA Toros, text Somos Toros to 956-502-2558. In sports, congratulations to the U17 MLS Academy team for their performance against San Antonio FC, which is ranked 20th in the nation. The 17s were able to travel to San Antonio and come away with 1 point as they tied the 20th ranked team in the nation 2-2. Great job, boys. The U15s traveled to Austin to play Austin FC, currently ranked 8th in the nation, and were able to come away with full 3 points. Congratulations on the big win against the 8th ranked team in the nation. Congratulations to the 2004 boys for winning the Premier Cup in San Antonio. They finished first place in the 2002 division, winning the last game in a shootout. Finally, congratulations to our boys and girls soccer teams in the Texas Charter League. Both the boys and girls program have been undefeated in games played and are on track for the playoff run. Now let's cut over to Mr. Reyna for a conversation with Ms. Cuevas about how IDEA Toros exemplifies the whatever it takes core value.
All right, well, thank you, Alyssa, for that wonderful introduction. Wasn't she great, Ms. Cuevas?
She really was. She really is.
Yeah, there you go. No, I really appreciate it. And I am here with Ms. Cuevas. She is our Assistant Principal of Instruction. She is one of our founding members. She was a teacher with us from year one. So one of the few that is still with us all these years. So that's awesome. But this year, again, her role is as Assistant Principal of Instruction. And the reason why, Ms. Cuevas, I wanted to speak to you today was I think there's still a lot of misconceptions about our school and about how the academics works. I think a lot of people think of it as an online school, and that perception of an online school is that kids work on their own, teachers aren't that involved, they're just monitoring, and that's not the case. And so as someone who's been a teacher with us, who is now managing teachers, I wanted to give to speak an expert, I guess, about the classrooms at IDEA Toros. So can you go ahead and just speak a little bit to how Summit works and how teachers are involved in the day-to-day of kids?
Okay, sure, no problem. So Summit is not an online school. Teachers are very, very involved. Teachers plan daily, they plan weekly to make sure that they're targeting certain things they need to go ahead and target for kids to be learning, to be meeting any sort of like benchmark at the end of the year. Throughout that process, they're utilizing a platform called Summit Learning in order to help guide and facilitate the process to help kids learn not only the content, which is really, really important, but also the skills behind learning, which is extremely important and long-term skills that they're going to carry with them, not just during the freshman or sophomore year or when they're seniors, but actually in college. When you're in college, you're going to need a lot of that, like self-regulation and learn how to manage your time well. And these are skills that are not learned overnight. We all have kids. We know that skill is not learned overnight, but it is a process. And that's what Summit helps teachers do. They help not only teach the content, but also help them build and refine these skills. So when they do get to college, we know that they're going to be successful on their own.
So if let me know if I'm hearing this correctly. So online school, I think, has one perception. This is not an online school. This is, we use the term personalized learning, right? Like I know we use that term a lot. And so the difference is kids are still learning the content. They're using Summit to learn the content. However, they're also learning the skills to I guess to learn that content, right? Like time management, goal setting, things like that. And Summit also helps to teach that. Is that correct?
Yes. I think one way I described it to a parent once was I'm not going to give an answer to the students. What I'm going to do is I'm going to help guide them to reach that answer so they can use those same resources and that same skill to be able to get that answer in math and in history and in Spanish, not just in my class. So it's a skill that we help build at the same time.
So tell me a little bit more about that. Like when you say I'm going to help guide them. So give me an example of what that looks like, because I think it's still kind of hard to picture. I mean, I know because I work there, I get to see it, but like for families and everyone out there to kind of, kind of picture how it works.
Okay. So we work with, say, projects. So I know I always launch these big projects within, I was launching big projects with my science classes. And with that, kids need a direction. So of course we launch and we give the content and we teach, but at the same time, they need to go ahead and have some critical thinking skills on their own. And with that, what we need to do is guide them by asking them questions, by giving them options, and having them think critically and collaborate with each other and with their teacher to be able to get to their end goal.
Okay, so definitely sounds like the teachers are very involved, right? Like again, that's one of the perceptions is we're an online school and teachers are just monitoring. Well, it definitely sounds like they're very involved. What have you seen as somebody now who manages teachers, and somebody who has actually worked with Summit? Like, what have you seen, or what's the response you've seen from teachers using Summit and using this system? Because it's different from whatever they came from before. So how have you seen them respond to it?
So it is an adjustment, especially if you've worked in a traditional setting. It is an adjustment. But when they do understand the process, understand the background behind the why behind Summit, they absolutely love it. Why? Because it's so enriching and it gives a more holistic view versus a just content for kids to learn. It's a holistic view of the individuals, in order to get them to be successful later on in life, not just in the immediate moment. So teachers become really, really invested. They become really excited. It is a learning curve for them too in the beginning, just like for kids. Everybody has their struggles, but they understand the why behind it, and that's why they're so invested in making Summit work and making Summit successful, not in their classrooms.
So the why is absolutely, I think, always the most important, right? When we understand why we're doing something, then we can become invested. But Summit is also a great tool for educators. And so tell me a little bit about how once they become invested, once you have the buy-in and once they start to learn it, like how it becomes a tool that can help take their class or their learning, or getting to know the individuals, kind of to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. So within Summit Learning, the class is already there for the teachers. Like we build them out in the beginning of the year. And as they're progressing, as the students are taking, say, we call them focus areas, which is like chapter, like unit exams kind of thing inside Summit, and their projects, as they're progressing, the teachers can actually look to see what skills and also what content that they're low on or high on. And they can pull individual small groups to go ahead and target those students and help them move up faster. So it really gives us some great data in there. We can run different types of reports that, again, can differentiate between, is it a content, is it a foundational skill, or is it an actual a way of learning, maybe some sort of a learning gap, a skill that they didn't know how to take notes. So because they didn't know how to take notes, we can identify that in the data and we can target that individual student and show them exactly how to take notes to help them learn the content and to help them learn the skill behind the content to be able to apply that same skill in different classes.
So we mentioned the phrase personalized learning earlier. And so it sounds like with the data that Summit is able to collect, is able to kind of give you a report on. Now you're able to see where students are struggling in particular, right? So where is student A struggling as opposed to where is student B struggling, and then in knowing that information, you can give them that specific support. Is that right?
Yes, we can provide them the support, whether it's content-based or if it's actual skill-based, like not learning how to take notes, not learning how to manage their skill, manage their time. So we can identify those and differentiate that way and help mentor them and help really target that specific student in the specific areas that they need help with.
Okay. So, and I remember back from my teaching days, like that, I mean, you always try and learn your students. You always try and see where they need help and things like that. But sometimes it takes time to figure that out, you know, with the older system that I was using and things like that. Like Summit sounds like it can really help streamline that process because, you know, the work is done within the system, and then the system is able to produce reports and give you, you know, information that's really specific to each student. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, cool. Tell me a little bit about like the students now. I mean, we talked about how it works. We talked about how the teachers, you know, use it. Tell me what you've seen from the students. I mean, again, as a teacher, you got to work with them directly. Now you get to kind of see a little bit of a bigger picture. But you know, what do you notice from the students?
So when students come to us in the very beginning, they do have an adjustment period because they come from a traditional setting where they're given the content and they have to literally give back the content. Here, when you come into Toros, instead of us providing them that content, we provide them the guidance. So students, as soon as they begin getting their footing and understanding and adjusting that mindset from they're going to give me everything to, you know what, I need to go ahead and look for the answers. I need to find out how to build a catapult. Like I need to find out the trajectory. Like they need to go ahead and calculate these things on their own. And when they're doing that, they have a lot of self-discovery, and that's where that lift is coming. That's where I guess that cognitive lift is coming. That's where the learning is happening, the real true learning that ends up being across all contents. That's a lifelong skill. So when students start seeing that and experience that success and becoming more confident with themselves, we've had students that are very quiet and timid in the very beginning. By end of year one, they're running the class. Like they really come into their own. And that is a beautiful experience to see. Now I've been able to see two of my founding classes already graduate, and I still talk to them. And with that said, they come back to me and say, you know what, Ms. Cuevas, I'm really, really glad for the opportunity because it really helped get me prepared. I feel like I'm prepared for college. I feel now that I'm ready. I understand why we did everything we did because now that I'm here, I'm using these skills and I'm not just learning the content. Now I'm using the skills I already learned versus having to learn that and go to, you know, be in a new college and learning how advanced physics at the same time. So they're really, really grateful, and they're really, I don't know any other word to say besides prepared. They are ready with the tools that they need in order to be able to use and be successful when they're in college.
Yeah, you know, and I've gotten to speak to some of our alumni, and I've heard the same thing, right? You know, we just had an interview with Brandon Morales, and he talked about how, you know, and he's at Cornell, Ivy League, top, you know, one of the top schools in the country, top in its area for the area that he's studying in hotel management, number one in the world, and he is there, and he said how when COVID hit, especially, that was where he really felt it. When COVID hit, he was prepared. It wasn't anything new to him. He knew how to go in, you know, manage his time, wake up for a class, log in. You know, he knew how to, you know, facilitate his own learning kind of thing, right? Because everything changed at that point, and he was ready. And so I've heard that over and over again from alumni. And I think, you know, you mentioned it earlier. You know, that moment that they take ownership of their learning, right? That sparks something. Then something opens up. It's like, wow, I can actually go out and I can do this. You know, I need support. I need resources, this and that. But that moment of getting ownership of their learning, I think, is huge. And I think that's a big part of what Summit does. Like you said, it gives them the skills to 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 go out and learn on their own. So really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. All right, so we talked about the student perspective. We talked about the teacher perspective. We just talked about Summit in general, but there's one component we still haven't talked about, which is the parents, right? The parent perspective. So what does Summit offer on the side of the parents so that maybe they can be involved with their kids learning and kind of keep up with how they're doing?
That's a really good question. We actually have logins for parents, and parents can look at the platform, their child's platform, and monitor it also. And it's really easy to read. It's green, yellow, and red. So red is something that they need to go ahead and finish. They didn't complete. Yellow is something they're still working on. And green, they've mastered and they're moving on. So that's a really, really, I guess it's color coded. So you can hover over it and see grades also. But just looking at it like visually, you can actually see where your child stands. And those parent logins were actually provided at the very beginning of the year. If you don't have one, you can definitely reach out, give us a call, and we can provide you those parent logins so you can see exactly where your child is, especially now coming up to the end of the year. We need to make sure we have 100% of that platform completed. I know it's really, really ambitious with everything that we're going through, but we know students can do it. So again, if you need that parent login, please give us a call and we can definitely provide that to you. And if you need help to go ahead and look at it and understand it, you can give me a call and I'll be more than happy to walk you through it.
There you go. So if I'm a parent and I log in, I number one, if I need the login, I don't have it. Well, they can reach out to Ms. Cuevas and she'll provide it for you. But if I do have it and I log in, I'm going to see what am I going to see? I'm going to see a list of assignments. I'm going to see their classes. What do I see? I know you mentioned red, green, and yellow. Like give me a little bit more as far as like, okay, what am I going to be looking at and what does each one mean?
What you'll be able to do is look at their actual year view. So you can see everything that they are working on for other classes for the entire year. So it's really quick. You look at their year view and you can see all their classes. You can see where they are in progress for all their classes for the entire year. So if you identify anything that is not green, that's something they need to go ahead and work on.
Okay, so red is behind, so that's something you really want to identify.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow is something that's in progress. Okay, so you just want to be able to keep up with that. And then anything in green is something they've mastered, they've completed, and they've moved on from.
Yes.
Correct?
Yellow, yes. Yellow, it can be either in progress or a skill they're still refining. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And then you mentioned the word master there. I do want to point something out there. I want you to point something out. So part of having Summit allows us to set the benchmark, right? And so again, we are teaching towards mastery, not just completion or anything like that. So tell me a little bit about how that works and how Summit helps us do that.
So it is a change in terminology. Usually, yes, I passed, and the minimum passing is maybe a 60 or 70. Here we push for mastery. Mastery, if we want to put a number to it, it's usually 80 or above. So we push for mastery in focus areas. We push for mastery in that project to master whether it's content or a skill as well. So we use a different term. Instead of passing, we use mastery to go ahead and show that we are able and capable of being above the bar.
Awesome. Well, great stuff, Ms. Cuevas. I appreciate you being here with us. We try and keep these to about 20 minutes, and that's exactly where we're at. So I do want to finish with some rapid fire questions. These just kind of give us a chance to get to know you a little bit. So I'm gonna say 10 questions, and you just shoot out the answer. And we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna try and do it in less than a minute. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Ready? I'm gonna put you in the spotlight here. Oh, wrong one. That one right there. All right. So here we go. You're in the spotlight. All right. Here we go. Ready? And favorite food?
Tacos.
Current or last show that you were into?
So many. Sorry. Full show or partial show? It's still in progress show.
It's up to you. Up to you.
Prodigal Son.
Okay. Are you usually early or late?
Way early.
Name a skill you would like to master. Rapid fire.
I don't even know a skill. I guess I'd love to master how to cut my kids' hair so I wouldn't have to take
There
them
you go.
anywhere.
Saves some money, right? Give them that fresh cut whenever they need it.
Exactly.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Better vacation, lying on the beach or playing in the snow?
Beach. Snow is way too cold.
If you could make one rule everyone had to follow, what would it be?
Listen to me. I'm just kidding.
Superpower you would like to possess?
Oh, to be invisible.
Something people might know about you or might not know about you. Sorry, something people might not know about you.
I love scary movies.
There you go. Last one, something that you would like to be remembered for.
Oh. Always being honest.
All right. Well, you've always been honest with me, so I'll always remember that. Thank you so much for joining us, Ms. Cuevas. Appreciate it. And I know you joined us during your spring break, so thank you for that. And I hope you enjoy the rest of it.
Thank you. It was great to see you guys. Bye.
Thank you.